Hi, I'm Catherine and I'm an embroidery expert. In this video, I'm going to show you some beginner stitches. Let's get started. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to Hobbycraft and click the bell icon to be notified of future videos. You will need threads, embroidery hoops, scissors, fabric and needles. Bring the needle up at the first point, then insert back into the fabric a small distance away, following the guideline. Bring the needle up at roughly the same length away and insert back through the fabric so that individual stitches are the same length. Repeat steps 1 and 2 until you've completed the length. Once completed, knot the thread at the back and cut. Bring the needle up at the first point and insert into the fabric a short length away. Before pulling the stitch tight, bring the needle up close to the base point of the stitch. Insert into the fabric the same length away. Bring the needle back up next to the base point of the stitch and pull tight. Repeat the steps until you have completed the length. Bring the needle up at the first point, then insert back into the fabric a small distance away, following the guideline. Bring the needle up at roughly the same length away and insert back through the fabric with the last stitch inserted. Repeat steps 1 and 2 until you have completed the length. Once completed, knot the thread at the back and cut. Bring the needle up through the fabric and insert the needle back into the same point, or as close as you can get to it, and leave a loop. Bring the needle back up at the base point of the loop, insert the needle back into the same point and leave another loop the same size. Repeat the 2 steps until you've completed the length. Bring the needle up at the first point and insert into the fabric a short length away. Bring the needle up through the centre of the stitch you have just done, splitting the threads. Insert the needle back into the fabric the same distance away. Repeat until the length is complete. stitch you will need 3 guidelines. Bring the needle up at the first point on the first line. Insert it parallel to the first point on the middle line, leaving a small loop. Bring the needle up a small distance down on the middle line, catching the loop and pull tight. Insert the needle parallel to the second point on the third line, bringing the needle up at the same distance down on the middle line as the first stitch, creating a loop. Repeat this pattern until you have completed the length. Satin stitch is great to use to fill any block shapes. Start in the centre of the shape and bring the needle up at one side. Insert the needle opposite the first point. Pull the thread to tighten the stitch. Bring the needle up as close to the first point as possible and insert as close to the second point as possible. Repeat the steps until you have filled the shape. Bring the needle up at the first point. Wrap the thread once or twice around the needle and pull tight. The number of wraps will determine how raised the knot is. With the needle wrapped, insert it back into the fabric as close as possible to the starting point and pull through. You will need 2 guidelines for this stitch. Bring the needle up at the first point. Pull the thread through and insert the needle back through the fabric on the top line to the right of the second point. Leaving a loop, bring the needle up on the lower line. Continue the pattern, leaving the same gap between stitches. Bring the needle up through the fabric at the bottom of where you want the petal to be. Insert the needle back into the same point or as close as you can get to it and leave a loop. Bring the needle up through the fabric at the highest point of the petal. Insert the needle over the top of the loop and pull the thread. Now the petal is stitched down, bring the needle up at the next petal base. Repeat the steps to continue adding the petals. Now you know how you can combine multiple petals into a flower shape. As an optional finish, you can add a French knot to the centre. Go to hobbycraft.co.uk to book a workshop, find your next craft project or learn a new skill. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and we'd love to see your thoughts in the comments below. See you soon for more videos.